Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? Kevin here, coming back at you with another video. So you guys saw me do the little Mickey Mouse thing to get the headlights to work on one of my other previous videos. And so I said to myself, man, I do a lot of testing on a lot of headlights because I have a lot of headlights. I mean, I'm always getting bikes. I'm always pulling the headlights out of them, and I'm always checking them on the high and low beam. So, and it's kind of a crazy thing because I got to keep getting my pigtails and plug them all in and make sure I get the right wire. So, forget it. I made this. The Play-Doh Factory. It's got a toggle switch, goes on, off, and oh, there you go. On, off, on. So there's high and low beam. I'll show you how it works. It's got a little plug on it, and then it's got two alligator clips on the other end. So I just take the connector, plug it into the headlight. There's a nice thing about this is it works on both 6 and 12 volt headlights. You just gotta plug it in like that. This is a 6 volt headlight, so I will use a 6 volt battery. And then what I'll do is I will turn it on, check the headlight that way, off, and then the high beam. Is that crazy? And that was it. So it's just my little headlight checker I made. I figured I'd share that with you guys because I often make my own tools if I find the needing. And I found this needed. You see, just a regular 3-way switch inside there. Power going to the middle, and then the ground going right out to the ground black here. That's it. All concealed in a trusty little Play-Doh. So, that's my little homemade headlight checker. Doohickey thingamajiggy thingy what's it. And we'll get right into what we're doing today. So, John, what do you call it there? Sent me a care package. Now these are parts that he's taken off of his bike. We were able to help him out. The channel was able to help him get his bike that has been sitting for 30 years, guys. 30 years. Through the videos, he was able to get it up and running. That's awesome. But he had a lot of takeoff stuff that he wasn't going to use. So he asked me if I'd like them. So I said, sure. I would love them. So I got this cool taillight assembly right here. You guys are like, Kevin, it's broken. Well, all the parts in here are broken, but I'm going to show you guys where this stuff comes in handy. Alright, so he sent me this awesome taillight. It's got nice reflectors on it. A nice mount, all the bolts, okay? This is a takeoff. The pigtails are all in good shape. It's a takeoff. Well, we've got some damage to the mount here, and we got a dent right here. Do we care about that? No. Here's why. Because you guys saw in my previous videos that I showed you guys a tail light from a KM or a KV or a what do you call it there, KE100. Here's the tail light. See, this is why I save stuff. Bolts on the back here with 3 bolts. Bolts on the back, same exact light. So I've got a chrome one of these. And now I've got a black one. So I got one for each one of my KM100s I have in the storage unit. See how that works? That's going to come in handy. Now I can put that whole system together and make a good one. He's got a square flange carburetor. Now I sent him another carburetor. This is the parts one that was left over, and it's missing internal parts in it. So, I don't think I have a screwdriver down here at the moment. I'll have to go get a screwdriver to pop that apart, but I don't know what's in it, if anything, so it sounds like something's in there, but we'll go take a look and see what's missing. It's got a complete light fixture right here for the handlebars, and then the other 3 are the pedestal ones, and they're all broken. Now, are these bad? Are these trash? No, because they got good lenses, good screws, good wiring, and a lot of good casing on the outer parts. Except for this one's completely broken, but has a good socket. So we'll save all these type of things. This flange right here, a lot of people see this as trash. A lot of people see this as junk. I see it as it's got a good rubber insulator, 2 good bolts, and a good cap. And then the rest, the other 2 parts are junk. See, that's what we do on this channel. We recycle, we use as much of this old stuff as we can, so don't throw away your old parts. They come in handy. So, John, thank you again for the box of parts, and I appreciate it. And I'm very happy to hear that your bike is up and running. That is awesome. That's a testimony to the channel here. And I really appreciate your support. So then, I got another package today from a guy named Peter. Now, we like to veer off every now and then from different things. So Peter sent us this box right here. Now, this is not for us. This is for Peter. He had a question on, do I have a video on Kawasaki kz400carbs? So he's got a set of carburetors right here that came in. There was a little damage to the box right there, Peter. You can see the damage, but it didn't go through the box all that bad, and the carburetors are still in good shape. So we'll replace that and send that back to him. So these are the carburetors that he sent us. Now, he said that he could start the bike on starting fluid, and that's it. So we are going to take apart these carburetors and check them out. Overall condition, there is, this bracket right here is bent really bad. This is not supposed to be bent like that. So we're going to straighten that out for Peter. That's not even, it's not supposed to even move. And let's see. That right there is the only thing that I really see that's really bad on the external parts. And here's a hint, guys. Right here, I want to show you guys this. See this right here, this dirt? This means that this bike was ran without air filters or sat without air filters. And see these 3 air jets? Those need to be all cleaned out. So we're going to go right through these carburetors for him. We're going to ultrasonic clean them, bench sink them, and get these up and going for him. So I'm going to grab a screwdriver. I will be right back. Okay, got a screwdriver right here. And also, I forgot to mention to Jack, who sent me the, what do you call it there? The magneto to work on. I've got your magneto almost done. I just got to do the wiring on it. And this is what she looks like right here. And I'm just going to put the other wiring on there. And then I'll be sending that back to you, Jack. So, got a lot of cool things to work on. I've just been going crazy working on everything. It's been awesome. Okay. So, before we get into that, we're going to take a look at this. You can see how there's a lot of crud in here. We're just going to see if we can get this lens off and take a look at it and see what's salvageable. If we can even get the screws out of it. Sometimes you get these things and they're just so crudded up, you know. Take your time. A little bit of pressure goes a long way. This video today is more about, you know, just checking out some stuff and seeing what's cool, what we can use. Oh, that screw came out. That's easy enough to clean. I mean, clearly it's got water in it, you know. And the screws are coming out really hot, so there's a lot of rust. Honestly, didn't think that one was going to come out, because that right there, that screw is really grungy, so we're going to replace those screws. Oh! To my dismay, or not dismay, to my shockingness, that's really not that bad in there. Socket needs to be cleaned up. We'll clean that up. Everything else looks in decent shape. I'm really surprised. Cool. Let's just take a quick peek here. A great cleaner to have is this WD-40. Spray it on the rag. You can almost wipe off yesterday's bad decisions on it, you know what I mean? Huh, look at that, huh? You guys think, huh? Not bad. Spray it in the socket, let it sit. Oh yeah, you can see all the crud in there. Oh, Jesus, guys. This thing's a mess. Okay, you know. I'll let that eat up to some of the rust. Some of you guys going, I can't believe you're spraying WD-40 in that. Yeah, it's it doesn't fade it or nothing. I mean, if you use brake clean, you'll kill it. Use carburetor cleaner, you'll kill it. WD-40, not going to hurt it. It's one of the better benefits to having WD-40 around, you know. It's a good cleaner. And then, of course, I'll rinse it out with soap and water to get the WD-40 off, the oily film. Little clear lenses, huh? And just give that good old soap and water. Thing will be nice and clean. So there's that. To go on to that one. Alright. So now, without taking these apart, which I haven't been apart, I don't even know how the screws are going to come out of it yet. But without having this thing apart, let's discuss this real quick. So when he opens up the chokes, right here, and sprays carburetor cleaner or starting fluid in there, the bike starts up. Vroom! He's got fuel running to it, and then it won't stay running. It won't, after the starting fluid goes, it won't run. Here's what I'm expecting to see inside these bowls. I'm expecting to see some brown varnish. I'm expecting to see a couple of clogged jets, a main and a pilot jet, and possibly even stuck floats in the closed condition, in a closed position. Now, I'm not putting these in the ultrasonic cleaner yet. I will over the course of the week here. I'll run these in there. So we're going to take a look and see what we're looking at. Okay. Tip of the day, guys. Tip of the day. Any debris on your bench you don't want in your carburetors. Get yourself some shop rags. These come in handy. Why a shop rag, you ask? Shop rag does a couple of things. It keeps the bench clean. It keeps your carburetors clean. And the rag will prevent stuff from rolling onto the floor, like screws. You can also use another rag, which is what I'm going to do. Show you guys a tip. Put a rag in front of where you're working. Clean up all your stuff around the bench. Take your screws out and put them where they came out of. Also, too, whenever you're disassembling a carburetor, an engine, or anything, use your cell phone. Take some pictures of how it goes together and how it came apart. Draw yourself a diagram. Use Sharpies to mark different things. And you can also use tape to tape where the fuel line goes into the proper, what do you call it? Oh, there we go. Yep, called it. Right there. See the brown varnish at the bottom? Here's the problem, Peter. And look at this, guys, right here. Called this one too. See the floats? Floats are stuck. Look at that, huh? Locked right up, guys. Locked right up. The jets actually don't look that bad. So I think they're going to come out pretty sweet. I think an ultrasonic cleaning on these carbs will do this carburetor just fine. Now this is off of a kz400, and it's used on another couple of 4-cylinder Yamaha bikes. Don't be afraid of them, guys. Don't be afraid to take your stuff apart. Take pictures, draw diagrams, even if you have to break out the crayon box. You know what I mean? Whatever it takes. Don't be afraid to take your carbs apart. Oh yeah, this one's really bad. Look, you see that brown? That's all old gas right there. It's just hardened. You can see the inside of them. And they've just been sitting with fuel in them. This float right here moves nicely. But the float's also bent. So we're going to have some stuff to do on that. Okay, so now there's a little thing here, which actually is awful. We got to drive these pins out. And we got to do it without ruining these bodies. Because that's the most critical part. If you can get those out, you are golden. If you can't, then that's a problem. WD-40. I'm going to use a little punch and see if I can tap them through. Now sometimes on these there's a little arrow. Okay? On this side right here is a little bump that sticks up. I'll show you guys this. See that little bump that sticks up right there? And there's nothing on this side. There's a bump that sticks up on that side and nothing on that side. Does anyone know why that's like that? That little bump is for the end of your float. Right here. And that can catch the float and stop it from over-correcting. And then the needle will pop out. So that's what that little piece right there sticks up for. Just a little tip. A lot of people ask, Kevin, what's that for? Just figured I'd throw that out there for you guys. A little tip. Some of these are also tapered. So you have to be careful. Sometimes there'll be an arrow printed on them. And it'll tell you for what direction to drive the pin out. Because if you drive on a pin that is a wedge fit, what it will do is it will get stuck. So it will get stuck in there, and then you'll be pounding on it. It'll keep getting tighter and tighter until that right there breaks. So what I use, it's kind of a big punch, but I also use the end of the hammer, the end of the screwdriver, and gently tap it. Do not use a hammer. If you have to result in a hammer, you have a serious problem. Okay? You're going to have a serious problem. That thing is going to snap, it's going to crackle, it's going to pop, and you're not going to like the end result. Alright. I'll be right back. Alright. Another household item you can use, also in your arsenal, is a regular nail. Yep, you're like, Kevin, a nail? Yep, seriously, a nail. You can use a nail. A nail makes for a great punch for these pins because it's pointed. And then the pins will slide right out. Now, if the pin is sticking out more on this side than on this side, then that's the direction you want to hit it in. If it's sticking out more on this side and less on this side, then you want to hit it that way. That's another way you can tell. See, that one's really in there. And we don't want to break off the ear. Then we'll transfer back over to this. Sorry if I'm in the way, I'm just trying to knock out that pin. We'll blow you guys up a little bit here. You guys can try to see what I'm doing. Okay. So we're going to try to knock out that pin. That pin right there is really in there, guys. really, really, really in there. Sometimes it happens like that, sometimes it don't. So you get this float out, okay. Let the float out with the needle. On the back part of the needle too, there's this little pin. And this one actually moves. Oh, where are you guys? Let me shrink you guys back down. There's a little pin inside the needle right there that actually springs back and forth. You want to make sure that works. You can free them up, but that's your seat right there where the needle goes on. You plug. And then your jets. That's pretty much all there is to it, guys. Nothing dramatic. Alright, let's get that other one. Yeah. So get that pin out. For this part, I'm going to use a little hammer. A little wee little tap, 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 tap-a-roo. Don't use a full-size hammer. Okay. Now I can't get this thing to move. I moved it out as far as I could. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to spray it. And I'm going to tap it back in. Like that, so it comes back out this side. Spray it again. And then tap it back through. Work it back and forth. Okay, it came out some more. Trying to see which way this thing wants to come out, because sometimes they'll be opposite. And it will really mess with you. Okay, so I got that further out on this side right here. Spray it down. Just try to protect the ears so we don't ruin them, you know what I mean? Okay. I'm going to try getting a pair of pliers to see if I can wiggle it back and forth. Alright, so you worked it back and forth with a pair of pliers. And I was able to get it just tapped in this way. Really, really tight in there, guys. Really, really tight. Like, to the point where I can't believe how tight it actually is in there. Okay. And this float right here is stuck. It is stuck because it's seized right into it. The needle is seized into the seat because of the varnish that's in there. All that brown varnish is actually into the seat. We got the float is out. Let's see if I can pull this off without. Don't want to damage anything. That's the thing, because we want to reuse everything that we can from this. There we go. Got the floats out. But the seat, the needle and seat are stuck in there. So. Can't even get that out of there. Okay, so let's see if we can get that. Pin out. Even with the floats out, the pin's still stuck in there. Is that crazy? Okay, I think I got it now. Hot's messing with me. Okay. Got the pin out. We're going to remove the little clip. There's a little clip on the end of the on the needle. Right there. We're going to take that off on this one, so we can grab it without hurting it. Okay, we got a little clip right there. Just a little clip. And this is a retainer. This holds the needle to the float. And why is it important? Because if you don't have this and the float extends too much, the needle could fall into the bowl. And then you're going to have gas upon gas coming out everywhere. Okay. Oh yeah, you can really see it. Look at all the varnish. See all the varnish on the side of it? Look at that. That's just fuel. That's what that is. It's fuel. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick the clip back onto it, and that needle right there on the end, I put it back on, that right there is stuck in there. That ain't moving. So that's going to have to sit and soak. Okay. Wow. That is in rough shape. Alright, so we're going to move on to the next part real quick. This part right here I call separation anxiety. This is the part right here that freaks a lot of people out. We're going to take apart the, separate the carbs to get out that bracket. Now in the front here is the lever for the choke. It's held on with one Phillips screw, and I removed the screw. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this choke. I'm going to take the screw, I'm going to screw it back in there. Now I put the screw back in there. So now I can't lose it. This is a tip. I can't lose it, and I know where it goes. See how that works? Okay, so now the chokes are individuals, separated. And we're going to take apart the two brackets. There are two brackets. There's one held on with 4 screws and the other one held on with 4 screws. I'm going to take these out. This one's already loose. I'm not exactly sure why. That's loose. I did not loosen any of these. So he might have loosened them up before. That's okay. It makes it a little easier for us to take this apart. You know what the nice thing about doing these videos is, and this is a benefit to me, because all I have to do is go and re-watch the video myself, and I know what I did. So, a little bit of a helpful benefit there. Okay. There's that. Now, these screws right here are a lot shorter than the other ones, so that's pretty self-explanatory. And the two brackets are basically the same bracket. So, not a whole lot of difference there. There's a difference. So, don't have to worry about mixing those up. We want to separate them. I didn't loosen these up yet. Oh, they're already loose. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Overall, Peter, these carburetors are in decent shape. I mean, freely speaking. We got this right here, this spring right here. So we're going to know it's got a hook on one side and a pin in the other. And then, if you look on this side over here, it's a rest. And then on the throttle end of it, what was I going to say there? It locks up over it. So I'm going to show you guys all that when we go to put this back together. But that's how it goes. Okay. So we got the two carbs separated. You can see the seals. That's going to, the ultrasonic clean is going to make those nice and fat again. Okay, good. I left the jets in there just so you can, what do you call it there? We're going to take those out. There's going to be a part 2 to the teardown on this video, but I'm not going to go too much further into it and get the slides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the video now. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, and thank you for sharing my channel, and there will be a part 2 to this video. Alright, thank you again, guys, for all your contributions to the channel and all the help you guys have been giving us. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you guys later.